All right. We ready, Jeffy?
Are we just gonna wrap, or you want me to run a deck? Because I have a deck ready just in case.
You do whatever you want to do. It's these folks on the phone here, Anthony Penna and Greg, did such a great job engaging the right kind of people. Let them know, guys on the phone. This is Steve DeLaviaga from Rise. I'm our founder and CEO. Greg, my largest concierge partner here in the Valley, along with Kyle Whissel, one of my largest Rise Nation speakers. You're going to get everything you see today. Greg and Anthony will have the link of the entire mastermind for you. Kyle will have his slide deck for you through Greg and Anthony. So Kyle, as you get going, you do you, man. I've learned with you. I can ask you one question. We might go for 60 minutes. So totally cool with me. All right, Greg, let's get a mortgage update. Let's kick this thing off.
Yeah, let's go, man. I'm super appreciative. And as you see the numbers rising, thanks to Anthony with lawyers and his entire team. He deployed his entire sales team along with my business development gal, Lori Fry, to get the word out. You know, having Kyle on is an honor. Like you said, Steve, in this market, getting virtual, getting online, getting on video is so essential. And even when we come out, you should have been doing it before, but it's okay if you weren't. Right now, you execute what Kyle's going to lay out today, and you'll blow up your business. And we got some ground to make up. Look, the first half of the year is, I'd like to just hit the reset button, you know, but moving forward, I think we can catch up, especially in the Arizona market.
100%.
You know, you bring up mortgages. We're on the 6th straight week in a row where purchase applications are up, and significantly up in Arizona, to where we're almost to the point of normal where I would have been last year to this year. So that's great news. You mentioned forbearance versus forgiveness. That's the hot topic right now. There was news about 10 days ago where everyone thought that if you went into forbearance, it was going to be 12 months before you could do anything mortgage related. Now it's down to 3 months, which is good news. You got to catch up your payments, make 3 on time, and then you can go. I'll tell you right now, I'm really about protecting the paycheck of the real estate agent. And so you got to make sure that whether they forbear on the property they're going, like they have, or it's an investment property, just making the phone call to the servicing company could throw them into forbearance on their credit report, even though they didn't miss a payment. And we actually literally have deals right now where we had to reach out, get the letter that said they were on time, never went into forbearance, send it to the bureaus, re-pull a brand new credit report, and re-app the client so you have a fresh, new, clean credit report as you move forward, which it throws a big monkey wrench into it. So it's using video, like Kyle's going to teach today, to put that message out to the community that they don't, be careful when you go into that forbearance. Be careful when you make that phone call. If you can make the payment, make the payment. You're going to throw the whole servicing industry into a spin, and the real estate market as well.
Greg, this is
I'll give you, Steve, one last thing with loan products is let's talk about not the loans that are gone, but the loans are still here. Jumbo loans are still here. We're doing a lot of first and seconds. We still have a professional loan that goes to 1.5 million with 5% down. So there's still loans out there. We're still doing the down payment assisted loans here in Arizona. So there's money to be had. And now you're seeing with this pent up demand, people are just chomping at the bit. Restaurants are opening. Things are like full. There's lines. I see Anthony at the steakhouse last week. It's packed. Like people are just pent up, ready to go. And you're seeing that with housing as well.
Gregor, 2 good points I want to make sure we reiterate. People that have called their servicer just to ask questions, hang up and get a forbearance notice in the mail. So I would say read online, because the servicer is just throwing you in there, and now you've got 3 months before you can refi or set. All these things become tougher, right? So focus on that. Secondly, to your point, this is like a bow and arrow that's been pulled back all the way to the end, and now it's all the way here, just ready to just be let go and fly forward, especially in Phoenix where we operate in, especially that part of the program, right? So, and I will say this, Greg, I love what you do about pre-locking people, getting all their information in. Now more than ever, your lender matters. Don't have these guys that don't verify employment till the last couple of days. Have somebody who's a true lending professional, especially in Phoenix. And I love our top teams, love working with you because they know you work as hard as they do to protect their paycheck and their clients' win.
Well, Steve, to that point, we have an internal credit team that helps people with their credit. There's no charge. They're literally coming off and they're literally going through every loan that's in our pipeline and doing a soft credit pull to see if anyone's gone into forbearance on any property. So we're proactive rather than 2 days before closing, they're doing that pull. If anyone won't buy the loan, you're screwed. So we're actually going through, starting today, they're just going through every loan, and there's over 700 loans in the pipe that they're just plowing through right now.
You gave me the best advice ever. We started working together. You said, Steve, I don't ever give my clients problems in the 8th or 9th inning. If there's a problem, I want to know about it in the 1st or 2nd. My clients don't need problems at the end of a closing. We can fix something with 90, 120 days out. Can't fix something 4 days out, right?
No one likes surprises unless it's their birthday.
You bet you had a boy. Well said. AP, do me a favor, just real quick. Transactionally, I'm operating in 15 states now. I'm seeing things, I mean, every lead measure I got, locks, box openings, opens, showings, pendings are all trending up in most of our markets. What are you seeing on your side as someone who does 2,000 deals a month here in AZ?
Steve, I say the same thing. You know, you got great reports out there. You got Keeping Current Managers. You got Cromford that gives you great data. I always tell our clients, go to your title company partner. What kind of business are they doing? Where are they trending, up or down? Us, for an example, we're opening up about 19 to 20 orders more a day than we budgeted for this month. And the resale number, the percentage was a lot more refi than purchase, but now that number is also starting to trend up where it's more purchase compared to refi. And Greg mentioned that word pent up activity. There's a lot of activity right now. The only thing we need to do right now is to get rid of that false narrative. And how do you do that now? Through video. Our team's been killing it with video. And I first heard Kyle speak at the Tom Ferry Summit out in the MGM years back when he had his nice little drink around his neck. And he just, you know, Kyle's laughing because he knows what I'm talking about. But this guy kills it. And, you know, we are so excited to partner with you, Steve, Rise, and Greg, and that you guys got Kyle to do this call. So let's just go forward and get this going, man. I'm excited. So is everybody else.
All right. He doesn't need an introduction. I'll be so fast. He's the #1 realtor team in San Diego. He's been a top volume transactional realtor for 3 of the last 5 years. He does the best job in the market of the moment today of winning. He was selling houses 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and now again trending back up. He's the best practitioner of video and sphere-based engagement of any of the $25, $100 million mastermind partners Rise has. And I say that openly to all of them. He does it better. He mentors our $100 million people on this process. You're going to get a great job today. If you have questions, all you have to do is shoot it in the chat bot. Jeff and I will throw it out to Kyle, but he's going to freewheel and go, and he is the best. My man, Mr. Kyle Whissel. Good to have you, brother.
What's up, dude? I'm very, very excited for this one today because Phoenix, you know, it's kind of funny are normally hopping in your cars, you're grabbing your boogie boards and you're headed to San Diego. But right now, everybody is leaving San Diego to go out there because they can go party out there. Like I saw so many friends out there this weekend that were at the pool parties and out on the golf courses having a good time. And so you guys are leading the charge on that. So I might need to make a trip out to Arizona to hang with you guys.
You're welcome anytime.
But I don't think I can play with that 68 score on the golf course. That's a little bit crazy. I think you guys might need to open it so I can do a screen share.
Okay. When I open it up to you, you should be able to do it. All panelists can share.
Is that okay? Let me pop in, share. I don't know why I'm not seeing this particular one. Let me close out a couple windows. We'll be good to go.
Yeah.
In a sec.
Zoom will do that to you now. If you open up that PowerPoint again,
yeah,
it should pop up as one of your share opportunities.
Okay. Give me just a second. Close out all these windows and pop a new one open. Be good to go.
I like, Jeff, that you got your high school photo up here for Zoom. You look awesome, man. Great job. Looks great.
There we go. All right, cool. All right, you got my deck loaded? Yep, we're good.
Perfect. Looking
all right, cool. So let's roll with this. So video is something I'm super, super passionate about. And I've really built a message that's very, very specific to today. I don't want to give you like the same deck that I give all the time. I really wanted to make something that's super timely, super pertinent to what's happening in the market today. Obviously, this is a COVID environment. This is totally different than anything that we've ever dealt with. But what this has done is really exposed to the opportunity that we have with video. I'm going to hit a ton of stuff. We'll do a lot of Q&A at the end of this thing. If you guys want to stay connected after this, or there's any follow-up questions, just hit me up on Instagram at Kyle Whissel, and I would love to connect with you guys on there. So first thing, I want to get this out of the way right now. I want you guys to look on the screen if you could see your face, or if you can't, grab your phone, grab a mirror, grab something like that, and look with that front facing camera, what you see in that mirror, you see in that front facing camera, that's what everybody sees of you. I see so many people that are so hesitant to shoot video because they don't like the way that they look. They're not happy with it. Well, the good thing with COVID is we've all been sitting on these freaking Zooms 20 times a day. Like if you haven't gotten comfortable seeing yourself on the screen, like it's time to get comfortable with that. You've got to accept the way that you look. Like check all the BS, get this crap out of your head that you look too skinny, you look bald, whatever, I don't give a damn. Check that shit at the door. Like this is the time where you need to step it up and get your ass on video. The way that you look on camera is the way that you look in person. If you don't like it, do something about it, but don't let it hold you back from shooting video. The sooner you accept the way that you look, the better off you're going to be. And we don't need to be shooting videos where we're like looking down at ourselves or up to try to get the right angle. Like just accept the way that you look. Like look at me, I have this giant forehead. These lights like beam off my forehead. Cool, that's what people are gonna meet in person. So that's what they're gonna see on video. We've gotta check the excuses at the door that I can't shoot video because I'm too skinny or too fat. Like get that out of your head and just go for it. Like please just check the excuses at the door. The longer you hold yourself back, the more you're gonna hold your business back from exploding. And Steve talked about that bow and arrow effect. Like once you really start getting out there and done, once you let go and just go for it, it's amazing what's gonna happen in your business. So I'm a very analytical guy. I like to look at data. This is how I make decisions in life and in business. And there's this saying out there, right? That if a picture is worth 1,000 words, what's the value of 1 minute of video? What is it worth? 1 minute video is worth 1.8 million words. For you guys that are video junkies, we're assuming 30 frames a second. Think about that, 30 frames a second, 60. .8 can communicate a minute of video. Video is so freaking impactful. It allows you to do things that you couldn't do with just a text message or an email. It allows you to do things that you can't do with just a phone call. And we'll talk more about some of that stuff. Here's a fun fact. How many hours of video are viewed every day on YouTube? How many hours? You're talking 1.5 billion hours of video every single day. 1.5 billion hours. Like that is insane. And the more insane fact, we're really loving YouTube heavily right now because the average time on YouTube per visit is somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 minutes. That means when people are going on and watching videos on YouTube, they're not just watching 10 or 15 seconds and scrolling to the next and scrolling to the next. They're on there watching full videos from start to finish. And one video finishes and they jump to the next video and they jump to the next video. Like YouTube is a gold mine. I think a lot of realtors aren't capitalizing on right now. But here's where a lot of you guys are focusing your video efforts. How many video views are happening every day on Facebook? And that's 8 billion plus video views every single day on Facebook right now. Like let that soak in. 8 billion people are consuming video. It's to the point, like if you're not putting video out there, nobody's seeing what you're posting right now. You have to include video. This is a fun little slide. Like this is literally what would happen today if the Titanic sank. Like these people would literally be pulling their phones out of their pocket as they're drowning and dying, going Facebook Live, right? Everybody's got it. Horizontals going Facebook Live. You got the millennial down in the bottom corner that's going Instagram Live or on TikTok. Like this is the society that we're in. Like you're I saw a fight last week that was at a donut shop. Guys were fighting over like wearing their mask. Nobody's trying to break the fight up. Everybody's grabbing their camera, trying to get a good video of the fight. Like that's the society that we're in today. People love video. And so if we know that people love video, let's create some freaking video, right? Like there's a reason that podcasts are blowing up. Joe Rogan just signed a deal for $100 million. Like people want that. And that it's all video that they're doing on there. Like people want video so badly right now. It's an amazing, amazing opportunity. But I want to talk about like, why is it that people really want video? And if you've been to a Tony Robbins event, you've seen this. If you've studied communication at all, you've probably seen this, but it's Moravian's model of communication. And this is where a lot of us screw up, especially have screwed up over the last 2 months, is that we've been told like, hey, we need to check in on our clients, make sure that they know we're there for them and all of that. And so what do most realtors do is they just want to hit the easy button. So they go in their list, they click on like every lead they have and hit send text or send email, and they send a text or an email out to all their clients. It's the same exact message to every single client, and it's text only. Well, the problem is, if we look at this pie of communication, only 7% is the words that we say. So if we're just sending a text message, or we're just sending an email with text only, we're only biting off 7% of that pie. We're missing 93% of communication. And we could all agree during COVID, sensitivity is at an all-time high right now. You got to be very, very careful with what you say. And so when we have the ability to do other things like incorporate tone, the way that we say the words, because the way that you read a word and the way that the word is supposed to be read, that gets lost in translation a lot of times because it's in text only. So now if we at least grow a pair a little bit and we're willing to pick up the phone and call our clients, now we can at least accomplish the words and the tone, because we can convey tone in the words that we say over the phone. But the problem is, for those of you guys that are mathematicians, you're realizing there's 55% of this pie that's left out here that we haven't attacked yet. In order to get that last 55% or effectively communicate 100% of the way, you have to have body language. And you'll see as I'm talking, my body's constantly moving. I'm using hands, shoulders, eyes, forehead, all of that. Like, you need to use empathy in your conversations right now, but it's very hard to convey empathy in just words or just tone of voice. Body language is how you really can convey that. And body language can be very important too. When you guys are trying to get, price reductions on your listings or deliver bad news to people, body language becomes very, very important. And now, being that there's still people, right, for the most part, we're back to normal in San Diego, and you guys are for the most part as far as being out there physically with people, but we're still doing a lot of Zoom consultations, whether it be listings or buyers. We're still doing a lot of those consultations. Like, when we can use our body language in those consultations, when we're on these Zooms, like, it's still super, super effective. So if you guys really want to make sure you're communicating with people, nothing's getting lost in translation, the only way you're going to do that is with video or face-to-face. If it's not one of those two, you're going to be missing some of the pieces of the pie, whether it be missing the words, the tone, whatever the case may be. So you really need to get on video so that you can use some body language. What I want to dive into right now is what's referred to as the marketing hourglass. And this is what happens when, leads come in, they've got to go through this hourglass to become a transaction. And then what happens after the transaction? And so there's 4 things that have to happen before somebody buys with you or sells with you or just does business with you in general. First thing that has to happen is they've got to get to know you. Now, we could look at the way that a lot of us traditionally as realtors try to get people to know us. And that's just send a shitload of postcards. Every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, just throw postcards out there. Now, they're going to get to know you, right? At least they're going to open the mail and be like, oh, there's another postcard from Kyle. Oh, there's another postcard. Oh, he sold another one. Okay. They're going to get to know you, at least know who you are. But are they really going to get to know you just because you sent them a ton of postcards? Outside of those postcards, what do they know about you? Like, do they know anything about you? Probably very, very little. But now think about if we could do this via video. One of the things that's really, helped us get that title with BombBomb of being #1 in North America is that we've created a video every single week for the last 5 years. Our first video series was called Santee Saturdays, where we went around and interviewed all the different business owners in the community of Santee, which is part of San Diego. We interviewed the chiropractor, the personal trainer, the coffee shop, the gym. We interviewed everybody. And in those videos, we got to have communication with the owner of those restaurants. People really got to know us. They got to see, like, how is Kyle? How does he talk? And the thing that's important is, like, you want to make sure people get to know you for you. Like, when you guys are shooting these videos, something that's going to be crucially important is staying true to who you are. Never try to mimic somebody else's style. Never try to change your words to talk like somebody else. Like, you've got to stay true to who you are. I say shit. I say dude. I say man. I say bro. Like, that's how I talk. I'm a Southern California guy. Those are common words to use here. You're going to see me say those same things in my video. I'm going to stay true to who I am, because something that's really important when you create these videos is it's much better that somebody likes you for being you as opposed to somebody liking you for being something you're not. If somebody doesn't like me for being me, I'm okay with that, because that just got that person out of the way, because we were never going to get along in the first place. We were going to try to fit square pegs in round holes. Let's just stay true to who we are. And I would rather have the 50% of people that like me really like me for who I am, as opposed to 75% of people liking this fake version of me. Because what's going to happen is when they finally meet me, then they're going to see the real me. And if what they saw on video and what they see when they meet me in person, they're not the same thing, there's a misalignment and we're not going to do business together anyway. So stay true to who you are, and then people will get to know you as you shoot these videos. They've got to get to like you. And so the more you stay true to who you are, they start to like you more. And now you got to understand this, that no matter what you do, 50% of people aren't going to like you. Like right now, right? This is an election year. If you fly the red flag, 50% of people don't like you. If you fly the blue flag, 50% of people don't like you. Like no matter what you do, 50% of people aren't going to like you. The sooner you accept that and just stay true to who you are, the better off you're going to be. And now when you do get to let your personality out in these videos, now people are going to get to like you, because they're not going to get to like you in these postcards. If you're just bombarding them with postcards week after week after week, are they really going to get to know you and like you? Like maybe know you, but they probably don't like you because they're just like, God, does this person ever stop? Like, this is so annoying. But if you're shooting videos and you're showing personality and you're giving them content that they actually care about, like telling them about all the cool businesses in the community, now they can get to like you. Like, oh, this is cool. He just told me about that restaurant. I didn't even know that existed, or always wondered what it looked like in there. Now they get to like you. In addition, when you're shooting video, people get to trust you. There's a higher level of trust when you can utilize that 100% of the pie and communicate, because you're effectively getting all three components of that communication out there. And if you do a video like the series we're talking about, where we go and interview business owners, is they start to trust you. Like, wow, Kyle knows everything about this community. They start to gain a higher level of trust that you're the guy or you're the girl in that neighborhood that knows everything and knows everybody. You create this illusion that you're the go-to person for that area and that they can trust you. And that has to happen before somebody's willing to work with you. And then the last thing is people are going to try you. But how do they try you when you have like a postcard? How does somebody really try you? I don't even know how that works. Maybe they hop on your website and like do a little bit of research. But when you're shooting video and you're getting it out there on a consistent basis, people are trying you out. When they're watching your videos, they're trying to be like, do our personality styles mesh? Like, is this guy or this girl a good fit for me or not? All of these things have to happen. There's really no other way in the real estate industry to effectively check these 4 boxes unless you're doing it via video. Because just mailing postcards, that's not going to accomplish all 4. Calling a ton of expireds, calling a ton of FSBOs, that's not going to work. Like, what are you doing to effectively accomplish these 4 things that have to happen before somebody buys with you?
Kyle, let's just jump into something real quick on this. People don't understand this because sphere of influence is usually a 40 to 50 transaction a year business, right? The reality we have now is you were the first at our mastermind level to take sphere to doing 200 plus deals in San Diego, which no one had done on a sphere base, because you did just these things on the screen. You realized this takes you to a 4th or 5th date on a first date with someone, as opposed to just, oh, let's back and forth and send email and text. This took you to the 8th inning instead of starting at the 2nd, correct?
Yeah, I mean, what happens now, like when I do open houses, which I still do, and I love doing open houses, and I can't wait to get back to doing them like normal. When I do an open house, somebody walks in the door, I don't have to do any of these 4 things. Like, these things are done. They walk in the door like, oh, hey, you're the guy from the videos. Yeah, how's it going? And then they're like, oh man, I love your video series. Cool. Hey, which restaurant that was on the show was your favorite? And like, we dive into communication. Maybe they've only watched one. They don't know there's 200 of them. They've watched one, but I'm like, oh God, they name like Black Bear Diner. That is so good. Have you ever tried their pancakes? And we're like having this conversation. Like, I don't have to convince them to know me, like me, trust me, try me. They created over time of watching my videos what's known as a parasocial relationship. They feel like we are in a relationship, that we have a level of friendship that they've created in their head by watching these videos. Because they see me on a weekly basis, they feel like they're friends. They walk in the door, we're instantly in rapport. I don't have to have a fancy script, a fancy line, or something to like win them over. Like, the relationship's already established. They already know me, like me, trust me. They're walking in there, they're trying me out. A lot of times when you're doing your open houses, if you guys don't know this, those are auditions. All those nosy neighbors that are coming in there, you're on an audition at that point. You should keep that in your head. Every time a neighbor walks in, you're on an audition. This is you getting on stage for your shot to make it onto Broadway. Like, that's a huge opportunity that you guys got to take advantage of. But it's to that point now, whether it's an open house or I do something at a street fair, or I just walk into a local business, like people already have this feeling that we're in a relationship together. It's a crazy thing that happens. But if you really want to take things to that next level, this is the way to do it. And so if you're doing all these videos, people are getting to know you, like you, trust you. Now, when you send that postcard, they're like, oh, that's the guy from the videos. Or you make that expired phone call and they're like, Whissel, wait, you do the videos, right? Yeah. Think about what that does, the lift that creates in every aspect of your business. Like that literally lifts everything that you do because people have come to know you, like you, and trust you, and they try you. Now they're going to buy with you. So this is what has to happen before somebody buys. And then the next piece of it is what happens after they buy. Like Steve was talking about, our database is the most valuable asset we have in real estate, whether it be me or you or anybody else out there. Your database is the most valuable thing that you have. Something that people talk about all the time when you're first getting started is like, man, just treat every client like they're your only client. You'll have enough clients to last you a lifetime. That's so freaking true. It is so true. And if you're new, this is easy for you because treating every client like they're your only client, they may legitimately be your only client. But this is an opportunity for you as a brand new agent or a newer agent, or maybe you've shifted fields and this is something new to you. Like, this is great. Build those habits at the very beginning of treating everybody like they're your only client. Because if you can do that at the beginning and you could keep that for your entire career, you'll never have to buy a lead ever again if you take good enough care of your people. Some of the ways to do that and to create the repeat business is by utilizing video to stay in touch with people. We make sure we get 2 videos a month out to our entire database, past clients, future clients, present clients, everybody's getting 2 videos a month. We like to shoot one that's a market update and one that's an FAQ. Something that's very, very important if you're shooting market update videos is you have to utilize your expertise as a realtor to help people interpret data. What I see a lot of realtors do is they get on video, and I've seen people posting this crap all the time lately, and they're like, look, there's 1,000 new listings this week, and there's 700 pending and 622 closed. What the hell does that mean? That doesn't tell me anything. I don't even know what I'm supposed to take away from that. You've got to help people understand what that means. So if there's 1,000 new listings in your market this week, and there was 900 new listings last week, okay, now let's talk about the fact we saw the number of new listings increase by 100. We've got to help people understand that. And now, more importantly, what does that mean to them? Something I learned really early in my sales career is called fabbing, feature, advantage, benefit. Tell somebody what it is, what's the advantage of it, and what's the benefit to them. So if we talk about, like right now, our inventory is shrinking. So the feature is that inventory in San Diego right now is at 1.5 months. The advantage is, if I'm talking to a seller, that there's a very, very limited supply of homes for sale for buyers to choose from. The benefit is that as a seller, you now have control because you're the only show in town. So there's a higher probability that we could potentially receive multiple offers and drive the price up above where the last comp sold. So think about that as whether it's telling somebody in a video, meeting with somebody in person, keep that in mind, feature, advantage, benefit. What is the feature? What's the advantage? And how does it benefit somebody?
This is so
Don't
important.
forget that all the time.
Let's not get past this. Quit sending out the Cromford report or the MLS stat with, here's a snapshot of our market. No one cares. They don't understand it. They don't generally read it unless you're the 0.25%. What Kyle's saying is, tell people what they're seeing. More than, Kyle, I've never had this question in the last 4 weeks more than I've had it. What's going on in real estate? Are you guys okay? What are you seeing? Is it up or down? Everybody wants to know now. So your knowledge and advice is now more important than ever. Please make that part of the process with us.
Yeah, and we'll finish. If you ever watch one of my market update videos, like just hop on YouTube, you can watch one. At the end of every video, I will specifically say, if you are thinking about buying a home, here's what it means for you. If you are thinking about selling a home, here's what it means for you. Like, help them, right? One, help them interpret what does this data mean, because they have the data. They've got Zillow, they've got Redfin, the data's out there. But what the hell does the data mean? That's where your job is to help them interpret what that data means, and most importantly, how it's going to affect them. And something you might have noticed in my verbiage there is when I'm shooting a video, even though that video might go to 20,000 people, I'm recording it like I'm talking to you. I'm not going to say, hey, everybody, for all the homeowners out there that are thinking about selling, like, no, it's, hey, I wanted to let you know that if you are thinking about selling, here's what it means to you and your home. Like, always talk like you're talking to one person, because nobody's watching your videos with an audience behind them. They're watching it one-to-one on their phone or here on their computer. Anytime you shoot a video, you're always talking to an individual. Always refer to it as an individual who's watching, as opposed to trying to talk to the masses. Even though it might be going to 20,000 people, talk to people like they're the only person who's watching.
This is so
Help
important.
people connect.
You do 2 videos a month. What are your open rates?
It depends on the video. Something that we're really big on right now is we're doing a lot of surveys with our clients to help understand what are their likes, what are their dislikes. Because if I start to understand people are dog lovers, now I can create content specifically about the new dog park that opened up. And I send that to the people that are dog lovers. What do you think happens with that open rate? Like, that open rate shoots through the freaking roof. And what that does too with the email servers is it increases your credibility with them, or helps with getting you whitelisted, so you don't end up in the spam or the promotions or not important box or whatever the case may be. So depending on the audience that we're sending to, on the low end, if we're just sending a blanket message to everybody, we're around 12. But on our more targeted stuff, we're hitting 50 to 60% on a lot of those emails.
You look at what religion they are, because you said, I don't want to wish my Jewish folks Merry Christmas. I want to say Happy Hanukkah. You look at, like you say, dog or cat, married, not married, grandkids, no grandkids. That's how you've got your data bank, which is what it really is, not a database, segregated so you can get the right content to the right people and what they want. That's the mindset, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it's amazing. Like, we do a holiday party and we used to be like, hey, come out, it's our photos with Santa party. And I didn't realize when I was doing that initially, I was alienating like 2 entire groups of people that weren't Christian and didn't have kids. Like, who wants to come to a photos with Santa party if you're not a Christian and don't have kids? Like, that's kind of a weird thing for the most part. So now, just by changing the verbiage, now it's just a holiday party. If I'm talking to an adult, when I'm, pitching it to them, it's like, hey, come out, it's gonna be this really cool party. It's gonna be a great holiday party, ugly sweater, the bar will be open, we'll have hors d'oeuvres, it'll be great to catch up with you and the wife. Right? Or if I'm talking to somebody who's Christian with kids, now it's like, hey, come out, we're gonna have this cool holiday party. Santa's gonna be there. We're gonna do free photos with Santa. We're gonna have arts and crafts, so the kids will make some really cool ornaments they can take home and put on the tree. It's the same freaking party. It's just making sure I'm sending the right message to the right audience. So that could be really, really powerful.
You were the first one that I ever worked with across our 40 states that understood the more accurate your database is, the more referrals, the more sphere opportunities, the more repeat deals you get. Plain and simple, that's the reality.
Yeah, and we play a game in our office now where every time we get a lead, the objective is to make sure we have the accurate name, phone number, email, and physical address. Like, we use a service called beenverified.com to try to grab these. So it's literally become a game now to try to ensure that we get all 4 pieces of content for every lead comes in, because so many times you get a lead that comes in as like Sunny Bear 123, and like, that's literally what comes through from Zillow or whatever website you generated that lead from, and it just comes through Sunny Bear 123 and a phone number. If I could turn Sunny Bear 123 and a phone number into Sam Smith, whose email address is sam.smith@gmail.com, and he also lives at 456 A Street, the value of that lead just shot through the roof, because I have all of that information, because now I know where he lives. I can send him information that relates to his particular property. So I could set him up on a drip that's going to show him what's selling in his area. When he sees something that, and the message too, like when we use Boomtown as our CRM, we send out like an e-alert in that system. It'll specifically, the title of the message will say home sales near 456 A Street. He's way more likely to click open on that email because he sees 456 A Street, which is his address. Like, how do you not click on an email that has your address as the subject field? Or when we're working with a buyer that says new home matches in Santee for Sam, like, if Sam was looking at property in Santee on my website and now he's getting an email the next day that says home matches for Sam in Santee, like, how the hell do you not click that? You have to click that. Like, that's just natural that you're going to click on that. So super important to stay in touch. We love doing it with video. Again, like Steve talked about, we do it with market update. And then the second one we like to do is just an FAQ. So something I learned early in my career too is that if you've been asked a question 3 times, you're going to get asked that question 300 times over the course of your career. So you might as well shoot a video and answer it. So one of the things we've done, you guys are welcome to check it out, buying.kylewhissel.com and selling.kylewhissel.com. Those are 10-step videos. We created 10 steps for buyers, 10 steps for sellers, because I do a high volume of sales. I don't want to have to explain every single step of the process to every single client. And my agents don't want to have to explain all that stuff every single time. We'll sell 300+ million this year. Like, that's a lot of explaining to do, how to do all these little things. So we shoot videos, and now I could send that video out to a client, and 9 times out of 10, that video is already going to answer their question before they even ask it. So think about, what are the videos you could create? What do you get asked all the time, right? Like right now, creating a video about like, what is forbearance? Like, that's probably a really good video. You probably have a lot of clients that are looking for that. What is a short sale? What is a foreclosure?
I know a guy that can do a forbearance video. He's really handsome with no hair, but he's a guy. He's a good guy. I know that guy.
Yeah. So by making sure you stay in touch with your database, which is where most of us shit the bed in this industry, making sure that you're staying in touch with them by providing a relevant content on a consistent basis. That's how you make sure that after people come out, they come back and they repeat business with you and or refer business to you. So super important just to kind of understand how that works. This is a fun one. I know you're going to like this, Steve. That's actually a picture of an ass. Yes. We're going to talk about great ass right now. And this is an acronym that I came up with because I want to give you kind of the framework how to put together a killer video. And this is all an acronym. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the ass end first. Every time that you create a video, you've got to have an audience in mind. I don't want you to just constantly throw videos up, like throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping it sticks. Always think about, like, who am I targeting with this message? I did a lot of video when all the SBA stuff was coming out and talking about the EIDL loan and the PPP loan and all of that stuff. Like, my audience for them, for that video, is other small business owners. Why do I want to target other small business owners? Because they usually have the most money. They're the ones that are buying homes. Right? Like, through this COVID thing, the unemployment rate shot through the roof, but who's unemployed right now? A lot of times it's people that are in the service or hospitality industry. And I don't know about you, I haven't sold a lot of homes to servers or front desk people at hotels. The business owners are who I sell houses to. So those are the people that I'm targeting when I'm shooting a message, making sure that they understand about PPP and EIDL loans. And what's cool, if I could help some of these businesses get through this very difficult time by helping them understand about these loans that exist, and they now could stay in business as opposed to having to shut down, and I'm the guy who helped them understand the loan, holy crap, like, I'm going to get business from that person forever, and they're going to refer me a ton. So make sure you have an audience in mind. So if I'm shooting a video about SBA loans, I'm targeting small business owners. What's the situation, or what's the problem that audience is facing? Well, the situation as a business owner is your business might be shut down. I got a nail salon next door to me. They're shut down. They cannot operate legally. They can in your area. So my wife keeps wanting to go out there just to get her hair done and get a pedicure. So, like, next door, they're dark. They can't be open. Well, that's the situation that I've got to help them with, is how the hell do they keep in business when they can't even open the doors? And then what's the solution? So the solution, my audience is small business owner. Situation is their business is shut down. And the solution is this SBA loan that's going to help get them through this difficult time. So make sure you always have these 3 things in mind prior to creating a video. That should be like where you start with it. And then when it comes time to create the video, we're going to the great part of this analogy. I didn't come up with this part. There's a dude named Owen Video. I actually got this idea from him, so I want to make sure to give credit. First thing you've got to do in your videos is you've got to grab attention. I used to make this mistake, and a lot of other agents do. The first thing you see is somebody's like scrolling through Facebook, and you pull up somebody's video. The first 10 seconds is like their logo like magically appearing on the screen. Nobody's going to stop on that. You've got to keep you got to stop the thumb from scrolling. Like, if you put a picture of this ass on the screen, like, they might actually stop scrolling because that's going to grab their attention. So you've got to do something that grabs people's attention. Like, when we interview all these local restaurants, the first thing you're going to see is like the chef slicing into the burger and opening it up and like cheese oozing all over the place. Like, somebody's thumb is going to stop on that. But if the first thing that came was like my logo appearing on the screen, they're never going to make it to that burger. So you've got to grab people's attention. If you're just shooting like Facebook Lives or anything like that, you could literally do this on the screen, like with your fingers, like something that's going to grab their attention. Or I've been shooting a ton of videos where I'll have like gloves and a mask on at the beginning, because as they're scrolling through, that's going to stop the thumb and it's going to get them to at least watch what's happening. So make sure your video does not open with your logo. That is like the cardinal sin of posting video, especially on Facebook or Instagram, where you have a fraction of a second to stop that thumb. That first thing they see. Engaging.
Kyle, real quick
stuff for things. This is a really good tip. Yeah.
Real quick question to the audience. I think this is something else that gets in people's way. People always ask, how do you edit your video? What do you use? Is there a team? And I know you've evolved to that, but in the beginning, you just used your phone, right? So
Facebook
tell me what you're doing now. Yeah.
Facebook Live, that's your editing software. This is your camera, this is your microphone, this is your lens, this is your editing software, this is everything. Like, this is all you need. Because here's what I'll tell you, is my shitty Facebook Live video will smoke your non-existent video. Like everybody gets in their head that like, if I get this $10,000 camera and this gimbal and all this, then everybody's gonna watch my videos. And then I'll ask like, how many videos have you created in the last 30 days? 0, maybe 1. Like, it doesn't matter what camera or lens or any of that. Nothing matters if you're not creating content. Just start creating content, because I promise you your first video is gonna suck. Your second video is gonna suck. Your third video is gonna suck, but they're gonna suck a little bit less each time. Just start creating content and it's gonna get better and better. And as you start to get traction, you start to enjoy it, then maybe you could look at like upgrading, but initially just go Facebook Live. That's it. You don't need to pay for anything. It's already, you might be watching this right now on the one thing you need, which is your phone. You don't need anything else. Or I'm on a webcam, like that's all you need. Don't overthink it that a good camera or a good lens is gonna make 1 million people watch it and buy a home with you. If the content sucks, nobody's gonna watch it. So grab attention. Next thing that you wanna do, repeat the situation or the problem. So do something at the beginning and it's gonna grab their attention. Then repeat the situation. So if you are a small business owner in San Diego and you're watching this and your business is shut down right now, this video is for you. Like something that tell them the situation. Again, you heard you. Not like, hey, small business owners, if all of you guys out there have a business shut down, like don't. You. Just, if you remember nothing else from today and you just remember that every video you shoot, that'll change the game for you. So restate the situation. And then at this point, if you want to like have a logo or something pop on the screen, that's fine. But you have to grab their attention. You got to get permission to show them your logo before. And one other thing I was going to say on the grab attention too, is if you're shooting videos of listings, the best thing you could do is you're open to grab attention is stand in front of the sign at the front of the community. You guys are super fortunate out there because you guys have everything is in a subdivision out there. San Diego is not so much like that. So if you're selling a listing in the Del Lago community, stand your ass in front of the Del Lago sign. Because if somebody's scrolling through, if they just see your face with like a house behind, and your guys' houses all look the same, they don't know the difference between that house that's in the background versus the next house. They don't know if it's in Chandler or if it's in Scottsdale or, you know, if it's in Tempe. They have no idea. But if they're scrolling through and it's the Del Lago sign, the sign they drive by every single time they come in or out of the community, you better bet that's going to grab their attention. They're going to stop scrolling when they see that. So that's just a little tip if you're doing like property videos. Repeat the situation, explain your solution, and then actually prove it. This is where data can be really, really helpful. So you can tell a story in here, or you could share a chart, or you could share a graph or something along those lines. So let's say I was doing something where I was talking about low inventory. Well, now I want to actually prove it. So I could say, you know, we recently listed a home for the Smith family in the Del Lago community. The last time a home sold with the same floor plan as them, it sold for $300,000. It took about 30 days for it to sell. But because the inventory is so low right now, we were actually able to sell the Smith family home there in Del Lago for $310,000, and we were able to do it in just 7 days. So actually prove what you just told them is the solution. And then finally tell them what to do. This is something where people screw up all the time. You have to be very, very clear on what you want people to do. So is it call you? Is it text you? Is it go to this website? Is it click the button down here? Whatever it is, you have to be explicitly clear on what you want somebody to do. I see so many people create this killer video and then it just kind of ends. And it's like, what am I supposed to do? I don't even know. Never assume somebody knows what you want them to do. Sometimes in our head, like we think everybody knows what we want them to do, but they don't, I promise you. And nobody's going to get offended if you tell them what to do. If it's like, hey, if you got good value out of this video and you live in the Del Lago community and you want to know what your home is worth, text Del Lago to 555-1212. Like tell them very, very explicitly exactly what you want them to do. It will change the game for you. You've got to be super, super clear on what you want them to do. Never assume they know. Just because you know what you want them to do, never assume somebody knows what you want them to do. All right. What I want to dive into now, I want to give you guys 10 specific videos that you guys could be shooting right now that are crushing it for my team and I. Number one video that's working for us right now is shooting Facebook Messenger videos. These are one-to-one videos. As much as I love sending a video to my entire database, there is virtually nothing more impactful than shooting a one-to-one video right now. And we love using Facebook Messenger. And one of the large parts of it is the maximum length of a Facebook Messenger video is 30 seconds. You literally can't go longer than 30 seconds, even if you wanted to. So those of you that are very busy are saying, well, I don't have time to shoot all these videos. My team's goal is to shoot 10 videos every day. You know how much time they have to block out on their calendar to shoot 10 videos? 5 minutes. Like if you just do nothing, you just spend 5 minutes a day shooting one-to-one videos, it's a game changer. The videos that we love to shoot right now, we're sending people videos on their birthday, wedding anniversary, house anniversary, and friend anniversaries on Facebook, like those 4 things. And here's, I'll just, shoot from the cuff on a video examples. Steve, what's going on, man? It's Kyle Whissel. I saw that it was your birthday today. This is gonna be one of those birthdays you're probably never gonna forget, right? They're in some crazy, crazy times right now, but I just wanted to let you know that I'm thinking about you. I hope you and the family are doing well. I hope that golf game is staying strong. If there's ever anything that I can do for you, feel free, call me, text me, shoot me an email anytime. Miss you, man. That's it. Like if you just shoot those videos on a consistent basis, it's a game changer. Because what your competition's doing is they're just loading up a list and sending the same BS message to like 500 people that's not personalized or anything. When you actually take the time to send a personalized one-to-one message, it's a complete game changer. And because you're doing it via video, you're getting the words, you're getting the tone, you're getting the body language. There's not one person who's ever gotten yelled at for sending that video to somebody. People are so grateful that you actually thought of them and took the time to reach out to them. Especially when you hit those key dates, because what are most people doing too is like, happy birthday, Steve, text message, maybe an emoji or something. Like that doesn't stand out.
You don't read the wall of 300 people, right? And you hit this on the head. Everybody misses this. It takes you no time. You get up, your folks come in. Oh, these are the 5 birthdays today. Bing, 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 bing. Instead of going to get coffee, sit around and yak, and you could do this, like you said, in 15 minutes or so and actually impact people. Because I got that from you, by the way, and I responded right back. I had 400 people right on my wall. I couldn't respond to everybody there, but my video, absolutely, I responded back. It's easy.
Yeah, I guarantee you it's 100% open rate on these. Assuming you're already friends with them, it's 100% open rate. Like there's no way to get 100% open rate on anything else in this world. But a one-to-one Facebook Messenger video with somebody that you're actually friends with is so freaking powerful. And then also if you want to message people, maybe you don't have them on social media, but you could just shoot them a BombBomb video. So we're huge fans of BombBomb as well. All right, next up is share adaptations. So what that means is let people know what are you changing in your business to adapt to these times. So maybe it's some tips about how you set your home office up. Maybe it's some new technology that you're using. Like we're using this new thing called StreamYard. That's a game changer for doing virtual open doing virtual versus the regular open. Share some of the things that you're doing because there's a lot of other business owners out there. They might be curious how they could improve their business, or your clients are just wondering like, what the hell are realtors doing? Like how has this affected things? So if you could share the adaptations that you made in your business, that could be super effective. This is one I'm really passionate about. I have a few new agents who've joined my team right now, and they all want to break into farms. And one of the things we've been taught for years, I think CRS did the first study on this. They talked about an 8x8 campaign, which is send 8 mailers over 8 weeks. That's okay. But what we're doing right now is they say 8 mailers over 8 weeks and then a mailer every 2 weeks forever. Well, we're just putting everybody on mailers every 2 weeks forever. But what we're doing for the first 8 weeks and those off weeks, so that we still hit them once a week, is we're doing donation drives. So partner with the local food bank, partner with the local Salvation Army or the Goodwill or any of these organizations in your community that are giving back. And so now one week they're going to get a postcard. The next week they're going to get a bag at the door, letting them know, hey, we've partnered with the local San Diego food bank to help out the families that are struggling right now through COVID. And then you send a video and you put it on social and you do all of that stuff. So now it's postcard donation drive, postcard donation drive for 8 weeks. That's how you kind of make that splash into that farm. And then after the 8 weeks, now you could just nurture it with those 2 postcards a month. But if you want to talk about an amazing way to break into a farm right now, when people's first impression of you is like, oh my gosh, this girl just partnered with the food bank and now she partnered with Salvation Army and then she partnered with this organization and that organization. This girl's amazing. Like we're so lucky to have her in the community. Like that's an amazing way to break into a farm right now, because all your competition, all they're doing is just sending mailers. They're not shooting any videos. They're not partnering with any organizations. They're not showing, any kind of like humanity or humanitarian efforts or anything right now to really give back. So donation drives could be huge. And so you go and you deliver bags to everybody in the neighborhood for a food drive, and then you put a video out, and then you run that video to everybody in the community. Because here's what's cool. You might not be able to run a real estate ad to people within a 15-mile radius, but you can run a food drive ad to people within a 1-mile radius. And then a little magic trick you could do, everybody who's watched that food drive video, you can now take anybody who watched at least 3 seconds of that video, create a custom audience, and now you could run real estate ads at that audience later. This is a little bit high level for that, but if any of you guys have been struggling because you can't target a 1-mile radius anymore on Facebook, you got to run an ad like a food drive, get everybody to watch that food drive video, add them to your custom audience, and now you can effectively target that 1-mile radius that you used to be able to. So doing some videos around donation drives is huge. State of the market, this is something where you might normally do this once a month. Now you need to up that to every other week, if not every single week, and keep people posted of what's going on, because everybody wants to know. People are craving information right now. And in all reality, they're craving positive information, because everything they're getting from the media is all negativity. It's just, this is how many cases there were, and this is how many people died. And like, nobody wants to hear that shit. Like everybody's over that. When you could give them some positivity, especially to show like what's happening in the market right now. You look at like the showing time data, or you look at the mortgage application data from MBA or any of that stuff. Like it's amazing what's happening with the market. So show that off. Talk about how to maintain a positive mindset. Like that's huge, right? There's so many people. Like we've got some guys in our office that moved here recently from the East Coast. They don't know anybody. They're single guys that live in high rises and like studios and 1-bedrooms. Like, man, that's hard to maintain a positive mindset. Or Christy and Merrill Jenks out there. They've got 7 kids. They got a homeschool right now. Like, man, trying to maintain a positive mindset while homeschooling 7 kids, like, my God, that's insane. So if you can provide some things that could help people with their mindset, whatever it is, if you could teach them about, a breathing technique, a meditation thing, the power of yoga. For me, I have my morning routine that I'm really big on that helps with my mindset. Like share some of the tips of how to help people with their mindset, because if you can help somebody who's at a low point to get off that low point and turn their mindset around, like they're going to remember that stuff. Next one up, work from home hacks. So talk about what is it that's helping you, if you're still working from home, what are some little things people could do? Even if you could just teach people how to do like a virtual background on Zoom. Like to us, we're doing that every day. It's kind of fun. But to the average person, they don't know how to do that. So you teach somebody how to set up a virtual background on Zoom. Like that's a cool thing, because now when they're on their next office meeting, they're like, everybody's like, how'd you do that? That's so cool. Like share those kinds of things. So some little work from home tactics, things to help people with homeschooling. So you could literally just Google how to effectively homeschool my kid. Take a couple articles, read them, and then make your own video. Hey, I did some research today. I wanted to give you the top 3 tips I could find about how to effectively homeschool your kid. 1, 2, 3. Like that's going to connect with people. Talk about date night ideas at home. Like this is a cool one. There's a service called Datebox. My wife and I are big fans of these. It's called Datebox. And you could share that with people. Like tell them, hey, you stuck at home, can't go out anywhere. Like our movie theaters aren't open or any of that stuff yet. And our restaurants is barely open. So it's like teaching people how they could have a date night idea at home. We just did a thing where we sent out like a little note and a deck of cards. And it was like, hey, if you're stuck at home and you're looking for something fun to do with the family, here's a deck of cards. Just go to this website, and there's 6 games you and your family can play at home and hopefully create some memories during these crazy times. Like that kills. That does so well. So help people out with some date night ideas. How to Zoom party. So you could tell people, hey, here's how to set up a virtual happy hour. Here's how to play Jackbox games on Zoom, or here's how to use the House Party app, or things like that. How to have a virtual dinner party with your friends. Like give them a little how-to guide, because yes, we're on Zoom every single day, but 99% of people aren't. So if you can help people understand just the basics of how to use Zoom and how they can use it to stay connected is really cool. And then another one, right? Mindset's totally jacked up right now, is you just go like, hey, here's my top 3 comedians that you should watch on Netflix right now, and talk about the Kevin Hart special or whatever it is, right? Like whatever comedians make you laugh, and put out the top comedians for people to catch. Like if you could just enlighten them, like, oh man, I haven't watched comedy in a while. And we all know that laughter cures a lot. So if we can help people laugh by just sharing our top 3 comedy specials on Netflix, like these videos, these 10 videos that we just went over, if you guys start shooting these, whether it's one a day or one a week or whatever the case may be, like if you guys want to find a way to get connected with your database, with your sphere, with your community, like these 10 videos can absolutely kill it for you. We'll talk a little bit about video distribution, because I think it's important if we're creating cool videos. We talked about how to create the videos, like what's the content of the videos, but we obviously want to make sure we distribute them and get as much mileage out of them as possible. Because for some of us, it takes a lot of intestinal fortitude to like get the courage up to shoot one of these videos. Like if that's a hard thing for you to do and you shoot one, you probably want to get as much mileage out of it as you can. So some of the places we love to distribute videos is Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and our blog. These are the 4 that we focus on. There's Twitter, there's TikTok, there's a million other things. I'm of the mindset less is more. I don't want to try to be a little bit of everywhere. I want to be everywhere within these 4 little places. So this is where we focus a lot of our efforts with our video distribution. Give you just a couple tips as far as how this goes. I think we talked about this earlier. The first video series that we did, we put everything on our Whissel Realty Group page. And we got good traction on the videos. We would consistently get 10, 20, 30,000 people watching the videos. The problem is people weren't willing to like the page. The reason they weren't willing to like it is because it's a real estate page. They know if I like a real estate page, I'm probably going to get force-fed real estate content, which is not what they want. They want a video. If I just showed them about the cool new restaurant next door, they want more restaurant videos. They don't want real estate. So what we did is after the first series, we created our second series and did everything on its own individual page. Our current show is called Everything East County. Within 2 years, we had it up over 20,000 likes. And that showed us that people are much more willing to like a non-real estate page because they're not worried about getting real estate content. Now, we do integrate some real estate content in there in a very tasteful way. So for example, this page is heavily focused on restaurants. So what we'll do, like this is a restaurant called Funky Fries and Burgers that's up there at the top. They have some amazing food. So what we'll do is say, hey, you saw Funky Fries and Burgers on the show. They're actually gonna be catering our open house at 123 Main Street. Come on by, enjoy some free food on us, and check out the house and hang out with the crew while you're there. And we'll get 10, 20 people to show up just from this page. And now what's cool is even if people don't show up, we just made sure, just kind of reinforce, hey, we're realtors, right? Like we're creating this content because we're realtors that sell homes in this area, but it's in a very tasteful way. We're not shoving it down their throat, just open house, new listing, open house. Now we tied in the restaurant we had on the show to the business that we create. But this was a big game changer for us, was creating a separate page for the show that we put together. Maybe restaurants aren't your thing. Maybe golf's your thing, right? Like these guys love to golf. Talking about shooting a 68 is insane. That's like my front nine. So maybe golf courses is your thing and you love to golf. Like every week, shoot a video of a new golf course in town. Like you guys have a ton of courses out in the Valley. Like shoot a new course every single week. And then go around and shoot the best par 3 hole at every single one of those courses, the best par 4 hole, the best par 5 hole, the best water hole, the best whatever, right? Like you could create so much content just around golf. Like if that's your jam, then do videos about golf. My jam is restaurants. I love to go out to eat. Like I truly get excited to go to these restaurants and try their food and see how they make it. So whatever you do, like I love the idea of creating a community show because you're going to connect with your community on a consistent basis, but make sure it's something that you're passionate about so that you create more than one video and then quit. Another thing that's really big on Facebook right now is groups. Community groups are huge. So if you don't already have a community group where you live, then you need to create one. If there's already one that exists, you need to engage in it on a regular basis. Like Facebook has been putting little things within your feed encouraging you to join groups. There's a button at the bottom of your feed now for you to see all your groups. They ran a freaking Super Bowl commercial talking about Facebook groups. Like Facebook is highly encouraging groups, and your traction within groups is going to be significantly higher than anywhere else right now. Like the view rates are nuts in there. So when you do create a cool restaurant video about a restaurant that's in Chandler, go find the big Chandler groups on Facebook, share that video into those groups so that you can get exposure. So groups are huge. There's another one. I didn't have time to throw it in the slide deck, but just over the last week, Facebook has been, when you go log into your Facebook, at the very top of it, it starts talking about 3-minute videos. This is like a new thing with Facebook. They're really encouraging it. When Facebook does stuff like this with groups, or now they're telling you to create 3+ minute videos, when Facebook tells you things, listen, don't fight it. Don't argue with it. Just go with it, because they're encouraging you right now to create 3+ minute long videos. And when you do that, they're going to show it to more people, especially if you can get people to watch past the 1 minute mark. They're going to show that video to damn near everybody, because one, you listened to them and made a 3+ minute video, and now you got people to hang on that video for longer than a minute. So it's got to be good content if people are watching that much of it. So when you're shooting videos right now, especially for Facebook, try to make them 3+ minute videos.
Kyle, question on this. Your past clients, how do you handle that today? Do you put them all into one group? Do you kind of segregate them by geography? San Diego's a little bit similar to Phoenix, that you have different parts of the country. What do you do?
Like on Facebook specifically?
Yeah.
So on Facebook, they have something called lists. So after you add somebody as a friend on Facebook, you have lists that are an option, and you can add people to lists. So I have lists of like everybody I went to high school with, everybody I went to college with, everybody I've worked with, everybody who's a past client of mine, everybody who's a member of the Chamber of Commerce. I have everybody who's been on one of these shows. I have all these separate lists, kind of like your email list. And so now there's a couple, I can post content and make it all to people that are on those lists, which is cool. Or the other thing I could do is only see a feed of people that are on that list. So something I'll do all the time is every day I just try to go in and look at my farm list and just go engage with 5 posts a day on my farm list. And just, right, if it's a video of their kid scoring a goal at the soccer game, like, hey, that's awesome, Billy scored a goal. What was the final score of the game? Like, did they win? Like something where I can get some engagement going back and forth. Like, it's so powerful. What I wanted to show here is we went to Black Bear Diner and shot video. And so I have 3 full-time media guys right now, and everybody's like, well, I can't do what you do because I don't have all of that. I want to show you a side-by-side comparison. The one that's all edited, obviously, that one had 11,500 views. We had one line the restaurant up for the show. We sent them a ton of prep to get them ready for the show. We show up, we're shooting for probably 1 to 2 hours. Then after we're done shooting, there's multiple hours of editing. Then we post it, we pump a little bit of money behind it to get 11,500 views. On the other side of the screen, we just went live and I think my assistant was holding the phone in his hand, and we just went live in front of the restaurant. Now, obviously, see, it's smart. We have the sign in the background, so as people are scrolling, they see Black Bear Diner. But look at that, we had almost 7,000 views. The one on the live video had 0 prep. Like, we just showed up and just shot the video. There was 0 preparation that went into that. We just did it on the fly. and had 7,000 views. There was no fancy camera, no fancy editing software, nothing. It was a freaking iPhone. And we still got 7,000 views. So don't think you have to create these like highly produced with a professional photographer and all that. Just go live. Like that's all you need. We run the 2-day video mastermind that we normally do here in San Diego. Now we're doing a virtual one. It's called Media Mayor Mastermind. And one of the things we do at the Media Mayor Mastermind is we just in the middle of the event out of nowhere, we're just like, all right, you guys know enough, go shoot a video. You have 1 hour, shoot a video, come back. Whoever has the best video is going to get a prize. And we just take everybody and just send them out in the streets. And most of these people are from all over the country. And within an hour, we can have 20 people go shoot a video and come back and be back at the house in less than an hour. Whereas this thing on the right or left, whatever way it looks on your screen, like that's probably 8 to 10 hours of work that went into it. But you could go drive to any local area where there's a bunch of businesses and shoot a video and be back to your office in an hour. And you just go to the business owner and say, hey, what's up? My name is Kyle. I'm a local realtor. I'm just starting to do a spotlight video series where I'm showcasing all the cool restaurants here in Chandler. I would love to shoot a video with you if you have a couple minutes. Sure, why not? And then boom, I don't care if you're holding the phone yourself or you have a selfie stick or whatever, just shoot a video. And do it Facebook Live. Like you don't need a whole lot of prep. There doesn't have to be a lot that goes into it. And you could still have amazing results. So don't overthink it that it has to be overly produced or professional or anything like that. Instagram, when it comes to putting your videos on there, the thing that we really love right now is IGTV or Instagram TV. Originally, this was like a completely separate app. It was like the redheaded stepchild of Instagram. Now it's like the most important part of Instagram. And they are determined to make this thing work because it didn't work very well when it was a separate app. Now that it's all within the normal the normal Instagram feed, the amount of eyeballs, like when we used to take our videos and like, I think 1 minute was the max length video you could put on there. We used to use a program to like chop it up into a bunch of 1 minute videos. It was a really bad experience. And we would get, let's say 250 views on a video. Then Instagram TV came along and now we'd upload that exact same video, put it on Instagram TV. And now like on this one, 783 views. A lot of times we'll get 1,000+ views. Like the amount of eyeballs that were watching those videos was 3 to 4 times what it was previously. So they're putting a lot of attention. It's another one of those things like when Facebook tells you to do groups, dive into groups. When they tell you to do 3+ minute videos, do it. When they tell you they want IGTV content, do it, create the content. And then what's cool with IGTV now, as soon as you upload a video, it automatically puts a little 1 minute preview in the vertical feed. So now as people are scrolling through, it gives them a little preview. Like you don't even need an editor to like make you a little short preview to drive to the long video. It does it for you. So it's gonna put a little 1 minute video directly in the vertical feed. And now as somebody's watching it, it'll be like, hey, do you wanna keep watching? They tap the button. Now it takes them to the full video. Like you effectively created a 1 minute trailer for your 4 minute long video, which is really cool. The other thing that you can do here is you can hit the little paper airplane icon and now you could share your IGTV video into your story. So now as somebody's popping through your stories, they see a preview of the video and drives them to the long version of the video. So like IGTV is effectively like creating a story for you, a vertical preview, like it's creating all kinds of stuff for you. And so something we'll do a lot of times now is we'll shoot a Facebook Live. When we're done, we'll download the video, which you can do. If you didn't know that already, Facebook Live, you can download it. And then we just upload it right to IGTV. And now we're getting a lot more mileage out of that single piece of content. We don't have to create oh, I already shot live on Facebook. Now I need to do something else for Instagram. Like, no, take that same video and just throw it up on Instagram in IGTV. Next up is YouTube. YouTube's huge again for us. I recommend every video you create goes into YouTube. And so same thing, you could shoot a Facebook Live, download it, put it into IGTV. You could also put it here into YouTube. When you put stuff into YouTube, a couple little important things. One, make sure that you put a nice thumbnail that makes it very clear to people what it is that they're gonna see. Don't just run with the default, like whatever little clips. I think down here in the middle of the screen, you could see like a picture of me at my desk or a picture of me walking on a panel. Like, don't just pick one of the pre-built ones, make a thumbnail. You can make a thumbnail in Canva, C-A-N-V-A, in a matter of 2 minutes. Make a thumbnail that's actually gonna help people understand what it is they're gonna see. Spend a couple minutes on the title to make sure that the title actually correlates to what the video is so that people know what they're gonna see. Make sure your description is accurate of what it is that they're going to see. Include a couple links in there. That could be really valuable so that they watch one video and then they click, go to the next video, click next, go to the next video. That could really help you out. Make sure that make sure that you put tags that relate to the video. And when you do all of this, this is, right, we talk about like search engine optimization on Google. This is search engine optimization on YouTube. Like the more you put into these things, the more people that are going to see your videos on YouTube. And like I said, YouTube, average watch time or average visit to youtube.com is 40 minutes. So somebody might watch this 9-minute and 22-second video, then watch my video on disability insurance, then watch my video on networking, then watch my video on tools for agents. Like, and they go through all of that. They start watching more and more. And again, they get to know me. What happens before they buy with me. The other thing that I love with this is when we do like these restaurant videos, by putting it on YouTube, now the restaurant owners, we send them links to the videos and we send them a code. It's called an embed code. And a lot of the restaurants are so stoked on these videos we did about their restaurant, they'll actually put it on the front page of their website. Like this is a local Italian spot in town, and our video is on the front page of their website because they were so stoked about this video that we did. Well, now every single person going to their website is seeing me, and I'm getting my brand in front of all the people that are interested in trying this restaurant.
All right,
Which is
Kyle,
really cool. Yeah.
Kyle, you are the smartest human being I know. It's part of your Mensa ADD thing you got going. But walk me through this. Do you have a restaurant site and a real estate site? Do you have both? Do you have, walk us through kind of, if you were sitting out here listening and you wanted to go, this is a good idea. I want to engage local business in my area. Walk through how I go about it. What sites do I have, et cetera?
Yeah, so everything should have its own YouTube channel, its own Instagram, its own Facebook. You want them all on their own separate thing because the engagement will be significantly higher than if you put it all on your real estate page. And what you could do is put it on your restaurant page. Let's assume we're running with restaurants, like put it on your restaurant page and you could share it to your personal page. But it's important that you put all these things on its own page. People will engage a lot more. They'll be more willing to, like on Facebook, they'll be more willing to like your page. On Instagram, they'll be more willing to follow you. On YouTube, they'll be more willing to subscribe to you. If you actually don't have anything about real estate on there, because they don't want to subscribe to a real estate page and get force-fed real estate content. So it's super important to put these all on their own pages.
Okay, good. And you like restaurants just because people like looking at food, they like to make choices, they like to, same as like to put up pretty fast as a house. That's why you chose restaurants?
Yeah, like the things that get the most traction for the most part, it's food, fashion, fitness, and family. Those 4 F's: food, fashion, fitness, and family. Like if you scroll through your feed, like, or especially if you look like what's trending on Instagram, it's going to be those 4 things every single time. Like that's the content people engage with. They don't want to engage with a bunch of real estate content. They want that content: food, fashion, fitness, or family.
That's a nugget, by the way. Write that down if you're out there listening. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, you'll see, you know, the big buff guy at the gym who's lifting weights, or the girl who's super fit, you know, going for a jog, or you'll see, like my wife follows a ton of mom bloggers, like, and their content kills. Or you'll see, you know, celebrities wearing like high fashion and stuff like that. Like those 4 things: food, fashion, fitness, and family. Those 4 genres kill it out there. Something else that we do is every time we shoot a show, we always put a post up on our blog. And what's funny is sometimes our blog will outrank the actual restaurant or the actual business, which is really cool because a lot of business owners are terrible business owners. They don't even have like a legit web page. So we could create content like this is page 1 of Google. Our video about this restaurant called Frutiza made it on the first page of Google. And what's funny is that a lot of times people don't want to click on the actual restaurants page. They'd rather click on a third-party page to see what somebody else has to say about the restaurant. So every time we shoot a show, we put it on our blog. And so that's just one more place that content can live and it becomes searchable. So that's what I got for you guys. Hopefully there's some value. Again, we talked about why video. We talked about the framework of a good video, a bunch of the different video ideas to do, the different channels to put the video out there. And so hopefully that stuff's helpful. If you guys want to stay connected, you can go to thewhisselway.com. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel on there so you can see the videos we're putting out, our podcast. You can find out about our mastermind events and all that fun stuff that we do. But that's That's what I got, and I'm totally down to take a bunch of questions. I don't know what time we're going till, but yeah.
We've got about 11 minutes, and we're conscious of your time and our partners' time here on the Mastermind side. A couple of things we've got to talk about. Number one, if scripting today, and I think scripting gets a bad rap because people just say the same thing over and over. Give me kind of what scripting you're focused on now with your folks, talking about empathy and things. And then when do you think it's time to start ticking into more of a business discussion based on this market moving north? Walk us through both those.
Yeah, so in the very beginning, zero business talk of any kind. There was nothing like that one that I kind of just freestyled with you. The videos I'm shooting now, we're actually starting to mix a little bit more business into it. So I've been shooting a lot of videos, and here's just an example of one. Rich, what's going on? It's Kyle over at Whissel Realty Group. It's been a little while since we've talked, so I wanted to get reconnected with you. Hope everything is going well for you and the family through these crazy times. Want to just get you up to speed on what's going on with us in the real estate market here in San Diego. What we're starting to see right now is a movement of supply and demand. So what's been happening over the last couple months is the supply of homes has dipped. The reason that that's happened is that a lot of sellers have either taken their home off the market because they didn't want anybody walking through it, or they just held off on putting their home on the market. So supply has dipped significantly. On the flip side, our boys over at Nova Home Loans have been killing it and helping a lot of buyers get into homes because rates are at the low and has increased. So supply has dropped, demand's increased. What that's done is caused a shortage of homes for sale. So for somebody like you who was thinking about selling a year or so ago, the timing could be amazing for you to cash in on this opportunity. So just wanted to get you up to speed. I hope you've been out there having some fun, doing some fishing. Look forward to connecting with you. Give me a call, 858-699-3895. Done. Like that would be a video.
It's so good. Now, this is the other thing that's important, brother, is that different than 08, 09, we have 74% more equity in the market that we have. People, it's not like 08, 09 where they didn't have any money. They just gave it back to the bank or couldn't make it. We're going to see unemployment, going to be slow in hospitality in areas, but people have a choice to get runway. They can sell property. So talk about how you're telling people, let's realize that equity. Instead of saying, let me see what your home's worth, which is kind of a beat to dead horse program. You're saying, hey, let's realize what equity we got here so we can make a good, educated, informed decision. Talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, we really want to help them understand that this is different. We love Keeping Current Matters is amazing. They put out so much realtor content that we can use. So we've used a lot of the graphs and the charts and stuff because I'm one of those where my degree's in economics. Like I love data, and it's one thing for me to tell you something. It's another for me to show you. So I use a lot of the stuff Keeping Current Matters is putting out there. I've been showing a lot of people like the charts from Showing Time with the showing data. Or if this is another one that's fun, if you guys go to trends.google.com, put in the phrases buy home and buy house. It tells you how many people are searching for those. And you could look back to the beginning of time since Google's tracked this. The number of people searching for the phrase buy home and buy house is the highest ever by like a substantial margin. So when I can show people the data, that makes my message so much more credible. Because remember, they need to know you, like you, trust you. So one, they're going to get to know you because you're shooting video. They're going to get to like you because you're providing them data, and they're going to trust you because you're backing up what you're saying with factual data. It's so powerful what happens when you do that. So I'm relying heavily on that data, and I'm using that both in the videos I'm shooting and when I'm sitting down at a listing appointment. And I don't even print it. I'll literally pull it up on the laptop right there in front of her, on my cell phone or whatever. I'm gonna show it to you because I don't want to just tell you, or like maybe I could have like manipulated this. Like, let's just pull up right now. Let's go to this website. Boom. Let's go to this website. Boom. And just show them that data. Like that really, really helps.
I love it. Now for you, I know you use two distributions for video, BombBomb and Viral, and you use both of them. Walk us through which one would be best for our folks on the phone here.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, if you're just getting started, one, you don't need anything, right? You could just shoot Facebook Messenger videos like we talked about. Then the next step would be going into something like BombBomb. BombBomb's amazing. I have like this little board right here, and I'll just write, hi, Steve, hi, Greg, hi, Jeff. Like I write people's name. And so every time I shoot a video, I'm holding this next to my face with their name on it. Like that increases your open rates through the roof because they see like, oh, this is a message specifically to me. So I would totally start with BombBomb. I think it's amazing, and it's really, really good for one-to-one. If you want to start getting out to mass distribution, I like viral marketing for that. And even though I have my own in-house media guys, I still use viral because all I got to do is shoot the video. They do everything. Like they edit it, they distribute it, they make sure that like the email is properly formatted with the right headlines that are going to grab attention, calls to action built in. They send you reporting back on who opened it, who played it. So it would kind of be a progression. Like you could just start with Facebook Messenger, spend no money. Then you can move up to BombBomb. Then you can move up to something like viral.
I love it, man. All right, getting conscious of everybody's time. This, Greg, Gail, and Lori Fry, who have been awesome, the best partners, they're going to be sending out this video, a little golf clap for Greg and the boys and Anthony. They'll be sending this out to you, this entire thing. We'll also have Kyle's slide deck that we'll share. I'm going to give Kyle a plug here. He does a ton of coaching across the U.S. You're going to get a survey from Kyle. Do me a favor, take the survey. We at Rise look at our surveys, and that determines more speaking opportunities and at-bats. So the better Kyle does on a survey, the better it actually is. We were so happy to bring this to you. AP, lawyer's title, Greg, Gail, Nova, and lastly, I think one of the brightest minds in real estate, without question, the best video mark of the moment partner we have in all the United States is Kyle Whissel. Kyle, you are my brother. I love you. Great job, man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate the opportunity.
Thanks, man.
Always. You guys go sell stuff. Let's go make money. We need you.